Hi everyone, welcome to Enjoy English School. I'm Steven.
I'm Minnie.
And today we're going to be covering the date of August 5th with composition on page 14.
那今天我们在第14页8月5号，我们今天来讲这个看图作文的这个部分。
And the title today is Summertime Surfing.
那我们今天的主题呢是很热血的冲浪，见义勇为。
Do you like surfing?
I like it when someone push me out there. I don't need to swim by myself.
Okay. Surfing is actually very tiring.
Yes, it is. 很累的活动哦，冲浪。
So let's learn more about surfing and let's get started.
OK， 所以我们来看一下这3张图片，给大家一个小提示哦。我们呢就是要根据这3张图片呢，然后以 Tom loves to go surfing 这样的开头写一篇大概120到140字的文章，那描述图中主角所经历的一些事件，然后呢要提供合理的解释跟结局。那在写文章的时候，大家看到图片一定会有很多的想法，我们可以先把想法浓缩成3个简单的部分。第一个叫做引导句，例如像我们可以写出来就说，Tom 很爱冲浪，然后某一个晴朗的好日子，他去海边冲浪，这就是一个非常简单，开头就很清楚的引导句。再来第二个部分的话，我们可以有发展句，这个故事的走向要去哪里呢？他呢正在享受冲浪的时候，突然看到有人在海上挥手求救。那这就可以是一个它发展的过程的句子。再来最后的地方，当然就是要 make a conclusion，要做出一个结论，也就是你的结论句。那就是汤姆可以过去搭救啊，然后最后呢，是不是有成功把这个人救回岸上？所以用这样子很简单的一个结构去写的话，你的文章就不会偏题，而且就会很丰富哦。
那刚刚 Minnie 老师提到的 conclusion，
Yes，
它是 CONCLUSION， 每一个故事都要有个 conclusion， 对不对？Okay, so let's get started. Tom loves to go surfing.
那汤姆呢，很爱冲浪。
And 很多次 a lot of times we will make love this word, we'll emphasize it, maybe by making it longer or making it higher, like this. Tom loves to go surfing.
那我们在讲我们喜爱的东西的时候，通常我们会把声音拉长，代表强调说我们到底有多喜欢它。
So you could also, there's a lot of different ways, but if I didn't emphasize it, it would make the sentence a little different. Tom loves to go surfing.
哦，你真的喜欢吗？
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you really love it.
Yeah.
So Tom loves to go surfing. So just try to get more comfortable elongating words or emphasizing these words. And here I could also say Tom loves to surf. Okay? But here we're emphasizing that he's going to go surf. So we sometimes add go before surf, but both are acceptable. He really enjoys the feeling of riding the waves.
所以他很享受这个乘风破浪的这个感觉。
So what does it mean by riding the waves? That's just another creative way that we say to surf, because you're not really, riding like a car or a bicycle like on the wave. You're on a surfboard on top of the wave. So sometimes people might say, oh, I'm going to go surfing, or I'm going to surf, or they might even say, I'm going to ride some waves. I've also heard I'm going to catch some waves. CATCH. Okay? And it's kind of like you're going to go catch them. 去抓那个海浪。
So, go surfing 去冲浪，我们可以用很多其他的动词来把这样子的一个活动变得更有趣、更丰富，然后去强调你在做这件事情的时候的动作。所以我们的动词再跟大家复习一次，可以有 RIDE ride， 还可以使用 CATCH catch。
Catch some waves as a ride some waves. One bright sunny day, he went to the beach for his favorite activity.
那在某一个艳阳高照的夏天、晴天，他就到这个海边做他最喜欢的 activity 活动。
So one bright sunny day, that's a really good way to kind of give us a setting. So when you're telling a story, it's very important that you give these settings so that the reader or the listener can kind of have a mental picture of where this story is taking place. It gives this story like a time and a space, and it helps people follow your story better.
所以在这边我们开头的时候可以用 one bright sunny day， 就是给这一个句子一个背景，让别人更好融入到你的故事里面，就是在一个艳阳高照的晴天。
And if you notice, the first sentence in this whole story is talking about Tom, this person. It's introducing the person first in this story, in this situation. It's Tom. And now, after we know about Tom, now we're getting the setting for the story. So when you're telling a story, you really have to have a very clear train of thoughts.
所以如果你在讲故事的时候，像我们这边，我们很明显的，我们刚刚先介绍了这个故事主角 Tom。那在主角介绍完之后呢，我们就可以来 focus， 来专注在我们故事的背景。
All right, let's continue. One bright sunny day, he went to the beach for his favorite activity. So favorite.Another thing I want to remind people here is there's a difference between the American spelling and the British spellings. Favorite, this word in the British spelling would have a U. F-A-V-O-U-R-I-T-E. So that's why sometimes you'll see some words that are spelled differently. That's because there's a difference between the American spelling and the British spelling, but usually it's pronounced the same.
所以在这边我们看到 favorite 最喜欢最爱的这个字，这边我们使用的拼音是美式的英文，但如果你是英式的英文，读法一样，但是你会多看到一个 U， 就像 color 这个字 C-O-L-O-R， 但是如果是英式的拼法就会变 C-O-L-O-U-R， 意思是一样的。
Exactly.He was looking forward to an exciting adventure.
所以呢，他 looking forward， 他迫不及待的想要展开这个冒险，这个刺激的冒险。
Right, so when we're excited to do something, we'll often say look forward to. And then the behind that would be doing something, okay, or a noun. Looking forward to the trip.Okay, looking forward to going on the trip. So if you want to use a verb after that, make sure it's in the ing form. Okay?
所以 look forward to 这个片语大家可以学一下哦。Look forward to 它其实就是期待、迫不及待的意思。那 to 后面我知道大家常都会接一般的原形动词，但在这边要特别注意，还要加 VING 动名词的部分。然后或者是你可以直接接一个名词也是 OK 的。
I'm looking forward to eat there. Oh, sometimes you can do it without the ing as well. It depends on the sentence, okay? So this exciting adventure. So when you say looking forward to it, there's actually something else that we say. If let's say that Minnie and I are going to go to the beach tomorrow.
Yay!
And so I'm going to say, hey, Minnie, let's go to the beach tomorrow. And she might say, looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it.
That's just a good way to say it. 很期待, exactly. All right, let's continue. While Tom was surfing, he heard someone crying out for help.
所以这边来到了我们的发展句了，对不对？所以当 Tom 在享受冲浪的时候呢，他突然间听到有人在喊救命。
So crying out for help is kind of like they're like, help me, help, help. Like you hear them, they're not really crying like with tears.
大叫。
They could be, but crying out is like, using a screaming way to get someone's attention. Okay? And let's continue. Then he noticed that a man in the ocean was waving his hands.
然后呢 这个故事的走向又往下发展了。他注意到海上有一个男子在不停的 waving his hand， 在不停的跟他挥手。
So it's not really saying hi, right? So
Hi.
waving does not necessarily have to be like this kind of waving. It can also just be any motions that you're moving your arms, okay? So he's waving his hands trying to get Tom's attention, right? And he's crying for help. So it seems like he's in trouble, okay? It looked like he was drowning and having trouble staying above the water.
所以刚刚我们说 waving， 我们有可能跟别人说嗨的时候也是挥手嘛。那这边呢，我们就又写了这个句子，更清楚的知道说，他 waving 这个动作让他觉得他看起来快要 drowning， 快要淹死了，而且几乎是快要被灭顶的情况。
That's a very scary situation.
I know.
Yeah, so whenever you go to the ocean, make sure that you have people around you. Don't go swimming by yourself because you never know. Even in a pool, if you swim by yourself, some people have accidents.
But just don't swim if you don't know how to.
Well, even people who are very skilled swimmers, they might have accidents. Sometimes if you have like a cramp, right?
抽筋.
Like sometimes you might not be able to help yourself. So it's always safe to have other people around. In this situation, this man seems lucky to have Tom around.
Yes.
We'll find out more in a second after the break what happens with this man and what Tom does to help him, okay?
Yeah.
And I just want to also to talk about the word looked. A lot of people might have trouble pronouncing this word. First, practice the 原型, okay?
Look.
The look, and then add ed, looked. Okay, there's a kt sound. The d kind of sounds like a t, right? So I have a lot of friends that have trouble saying this word. So practice the original form, look, and then add kt at the end, looked. Okay, and that way it might be easier. All right, let's take a short break. So now we're going to find out what Tom does in response, okay? After Tom saw this situation, he decided to do his best to save the man.
那在刚刚我们经过了引导句，到了发展句，现在最后来到了我们的 conclusion 结论句。所以老师刚刚讲的这句话，他就是说，汤姆在看到这种情况之后，就决定了要尽其所能的帮助这个男子。
Also, I just want to bring attention to this whole excerpt.
Yes.
Right now, we see 3 different paragraphs.
Yes.
So when you're telling a story or when you're writing a story, like right now with the 3 different parts, they have 3 different paragraphs. It's very important that you separate these different parts so that the story is easy to follow.
所以在这边分段的重要性很重要。我们刚刚说引导发展结论，那我们也可以把引导发展结论分成3个不同的段落，这样子读者读起来就会更方便、更清楚。
So Tom is decided to do his best. So that means that he's going to do everything he can to do what? To save the man, to help this man and get him out of danger. Okay. Tom, what does he do next? He swam over to the man.
所以 Tom 接下来就游向这个男子 ，swim over。
And here, we could also just say he swam to the man, but saying he swam over to the man is just emphasizing, it's giving us a better mental picture that he's going over to the man. So that over is not necessary, but at the same time, it helps people have a better image. Okay.
所以在这边使用 over 的话，会让读者比较容易清楚知道说它其实是有距离的。
Exactly.
所以会让这一整个句子变得更生动活泼。
So just one little word. It's kind of like
into
like salt and pepper on top of a meal.
Oh, that is a very good metaphor.
Right. It's not extremely necessary, but it makes the sentence better. Okay. Then they both held onto Tom's surfboard and rowed back to the beach to safety.
所以他们2个人呢，就一起抓着汤姆的冲浪板，然后呢，平安的回到沙滩上。
So this rowed back. Rowed is the past tense of ride. So the surfboard doesn't really move by itself, but since they're on top of something, and I'm sure the waves are probably helping them, they're also swimming, so that's why they can say that they're riding the surfboard, okay? But technically, it's not really like riding. It's not like a bike, right? It's not moving by itself, okay? And they're riding back to the beach to safety, okay? So riding to safety, you could just say that, but it's trying to emphasize that they're going to the beach. So what I'm trying to say is there's two twos, okay? There's two of these preposition twos. So it might seem confusing to people. Why do we have rowed back to the beach to safety? It's because it's just trying to say they rowed to safety, but they're also going to the beach, okay? So don't feel uncomfortable using two twos in that sentence.
那在这一句，因为它有出现两个 to 这个介系词，所以同学读起来可能看起来会有一点点，想说害怕，到底要怎么看？老师刚刚特别有讲说 ，roll back to safety 其实就是骑回去这个安全的地方。那这边另外一个 to the beach 强调的是说哪里是安全的地方呢？就是这个海滩。
The man thanked Tom a lot.
那这个男人呢，这个男子落水的男子就非常的感谢他。
I would be very thankful if someone saved me as well.
Yeah.
It's like a fear of mine, a nightmare of mine to be stuck in a very big body of water.
Yes.
And then being helpless or having a cramp, like we said earlier.
Yes.
And then cramp, 就抽筋, C-R-A-M-P. And then have the possibility of drowning. That's a very scary situation to be in. Okay, and then I said a body of water.
A body of
water. So a body of water is just a way to describe, it doesn't matter if it's a pool or a lake, it's just some form of a lot of water being together. Like the ocean is also a body of water. So it might seem a little bit strange to people who speak Chinese because body means
一个身体的水。
But it's also a way to describe if you don't want to say ocean or lake, you could just say it's a body of water.
我们应该可以把它翻译成有点像是大量的水这样子的感觉。
Yes. So this also want to emphasize the word thanked. It's kind of like when I was talking about looked. A lot of people might have difficulty pronouncing this word. First of all, think. Let's just say the original form. Think. Okay? The TH sound in English, you always have to make sure your tongue comes out in between your front teeth. Okay, the bottom and the top front teeth. Here. Think. Okay, so first place your tongue and then make the sound. Think. Okay, don't try to do it at the same time. 不要同时舌头出来然后出这个声音，因为 think it's a little bit difficult. 先摆好舌头，然后再出声音。
Think
这样子。因为如果没有你，很多人会变 thanked，会变像蛇那种死声音。其实 th 不能有出这种的声音，所以先摆舌头，然后 think，OK，再加上要加 ed，就是刚跟 look
t 的音，
对，所以是 kt 的感觉 ，thanked，OK，so that's how you pronounce that word。会需要一点时间练习，因为那个是一个肌肉的记忆，所以一开始可能会觉得有点大舌头，还是有一点不是那么协调，但是先练是这样，先摆好位置，再出声音。然后 think， 然后再来加 ed， thanked. Okay, so that's a good way to practice that.
Wow.
Tom felt very proud of himself.
所以 Tom 呢，他就是非常十分的以自己为荣。
So if I'm proud of Minnie 老师 I would say I'm proud of you. Okay, 所以你 proud 的那个人是 of 的后面介系词的后面。Okay, so Tom felt proud of who? Of himself for saving the man. This was an unforgettable day in his life.
So this was an unforgettable 就是难忘的，所以我们就用这是一个难忘的一天来做一个故事的结尾，也希望可能读者也感到难忘。
Right, so Tom will never forget this day for the rest of his life. I'm sure that man will never forget this day as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the review section. All right, Minnie 老师. So if I say 我要冲浪, how would I say that in English?
I will go surfing.
Go surfing, right? We could also just say surfing as well, okay? All right, so what does it mean by riding the waves?
就代表你在冲浪，但是我们用 ride 这个动词来强调在海上面这样子漂浮移动的这个动作。
You could also say catching some waves or catching the waves. Okay, if I'm really excited about something, I might be looking forward to it. What does it mean by look forward to something?
代表你非常期待做某事。
I might be looking forward to an exciting adventure. What's an adventure?
就代表是一个冒险 adventure.
But on this adventure, I might fall into some trouble, and I might need to cry out for help. What does that mean?
Cry out for help 就是大叫救命的意思。Cry out 不是真的哭出来，它是有大叫大喊的意思。
Like that, crying out for help.
Okay.
All right. So if you see somebody waving at you,
Hey.
what does that mean?
挥手啊。
Yes. So usually that means like they're saying hi, right? But sometimes they might not be saying hi. They might be trying to get your attention, but we also use waving. Okay.
只要是挥手这个动作，不管你是要求救啊，还是要说hi，都可以使用。
What does it mean by drowning?
Means you are 溺水。
溺水, a scary thought. You might be drowning in a body of water. 我们刚刚说 body of water.
大量的水。
And you might have trouble staying above the water. So what does have trouble mean?
有困难做什么事情的时候，我们会用 have trouble。
And here in this situation, staying above the water 就是在
浮在水面上。
Yes. Okay, so you might want to do your best not to drown. What does do your best mean?
It's like try your best， 就是你要尽全力的意思。
尽全力。And if you save someone from drowning, you might feel proud of yourself. What does it mean by feel proud of someone?
代表你以谁为荣。
And if you save the day, it would be a very unforgettable day.
Save the day, just like the heroes.
Yes. So unforgettable 就是
难忘的。
Yes. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
拜拜。
第14页，看图作文，热血冲浪，见义勇为。
Summertime surfing. Tom loves to go surfing. He really enjoys the feeling of riding the waves. One bright sunny day, he went to the beach for his favorite activity. He was looking forward to an exciting adventure. While Tom was surfing, he heard someone crying out for help. Then he noticed that a man in the ocean was waving his hands. It looked like he was drowning and having trouble staying above the water. After Tom saw this situation, he decided to do his best to save the man. He swam over to the man. Then they both held on to Tom's surfboard and rowed back to the beach to safety. The man thanked Tom a lot. Tom felt very proud of himself. This was an unforgettable day in his life.